you know what it is. Black and snurdy, black and snurdy, black and snurdy, black and snurdy.
You know who it is. Black and snurdy, black and snurdy, black and snurdy, black and snurdy.
Ode, Maurice, Ode, Maurice.
Maurice, Ode, Maurice, Ode.
Black and snurdy, black and snurdy.
Black and snurdy, black and snurdy.
Hey, oh.
Yes, Mo?
Are you ready?
Let's go.
Black and snurdy, black and snurdy, black and snurdy, black and snurdy. It's the Black and Snurdy podcast with Ode and Maurice.
And we are here. We are here with another Wednesday edition of the Black and Sturdy podcast.
Watch out now.
Yes, watch out now. Watch out now.
So,
yes, these are the mini episodes that we do on Wednesdays where maybe that's a little bit too loud. Where we discuss something that we're watching, listening to, some piece of media. We go over it, we review it, we give our takes on it. And this week we are going through, as we have the last few weeks, going through Netflix's miniseries Kaleidoscope.
Kaleidoscope. And we're currently on episode 3, which is Blue.
Blue. Hey there, Mr. Blue.
I'm blue. Is it I'm blue? Abadi Abadai, or is it
Abadi Abadai?
It's
Because
not.
When growing up, I used to think it was I'm blue. If I was green, I would.
I think that we all thought if I was green, if I was green, I would die.
Because that makes sense, right?
It makes more sense than Abadi Abadai. Those aren't words.
Yeah, those are nonsense words.
But speaking of nonsense, okay, press play. We like to have it in the background. So, sugar talk.
What?
You talk.
What? We don't need topics or anything.
I don't, but I need my notebook.
Oh, okay. Well, anyhow, as I was saying, we've been watching. Oh, yeah, and you got to mute that. So we've been watching episode 3 of Kaleidoscope, which, of course, if you're not familiar with the series, you can watch it out of order. Each episode is a color made up of the colors of the rainbow.
I don't know about that, but each episode, the colors represent a certain time frame, and blue is 5 days before the big heist.
Yes.
So this one focuses mostly on Roger, who is
Roger Salas.
Yes, he is Leo Giancarlo's character's arch nemesis. And in the last episode, we find out the reason he hates him is that Roger does something to, I don't know if it's...
I don't think we find out why.
Yeah, well, okay, no, we don't find out why, but we find out he hates him.
That Leo hates Roger for some reason.
For something he did to him and maybe his family. My guess is that Roger killed Hannah's mother, who's his daughter, and framed him for it, and then he goes to jail, or he creates a situation where Leo would have to kill or otherwise harm Hannah's mother.
Either way, the going theory right now is Roger is the reason why Leo is in jail.
Yes.
Or was in jail during the last episode.
And we get to learn more about the little intricacies of the heist, with the planning, or like how they plan on actually doing the heist.
Yes. Right now, or at least in this episode, we find out that the heist contingents on 7 mini plans.
Yes.
Right? So
they
there's
have
7 steps to the plan.
The first one is they have to get to Wall Street and get through the armored car code, right? And then
they have to get the tracking code that's on the armored car.
Yes, the tracking code, and then they have to get into SLS, which is the name of the company, and figure out how to get through doors and 2 elevators. Then 3 is they have to get through 2 more armed guards that are in the lobby. 4 is that they have to get through the vault door and hallway, which has, the vault door. Then they have to get through the hallway, which has a multi-matrix biometric camera, I believe. 6, excuse me, they have to get through the doors and turn off the sensors because there's some sort of climate patch which will regulates the temperature, and if it goes up too high, they're gonna get caught. And then 7, of course, is crack the safes, get the bonds, and get out of Dodge.
Yeah, so there's a lot of moving pieces to each of these, and initially, like, they have, like, it seems like one of those steps, which is the biometric, like, walking thing, would be harder than all the other steps.
Yeah, I think that
because the biometric walking thing that I'm referring to is essentially it's a sensor that maps out the hello there,
Daryl.
Hey Daryl. It maps out the walking pattern of Roger Salas, so he's the only one who should be able to get in there. I don't know if you've ever tried to change. Have you ever tried to change up your walk or how you walk? Are you cognizant of how you walk?
I'm cognizant of how I walk. I know that I can, like.
Well, you're pigeon-toed, right?
I mean, there's nothing wrong with being pigeon-toed.
There is nothing wrong with being pigeon-toed.
I personally am not pigeon-toed, but I am very clumsy.
Yes, you are.
So if I can mimic other people's walks.
It's almost, one could almost say it's a flaw.
Well, you're my friend, flaws and all. So
yeah.
But I just actually was.
It doesn't dismiss the fact that it's a flaw.
I was just talking to
doesn't change that fact.
My
anyhow, you were saying.
Cousin-in-law Quenisha about how.
Quenisha, I know I wanna see my name in lights. No one's gonna stop me. You see, I will go far.
Okay, so I was just talking to her about how when I met Ogona, my brother-in-law, the first time in London, he brought one of his friends with him on a double date. It was like it was our first time first time my sister was like meeting him, and then it was like he was like, oh, let's go to a bar. He brought his friend.
So wait, so it was you and your sister and your brother-in-law and a friend as a double date. So
yes, this is our first.
All 4 of you.
Yeah, this is like the first time we're meeting, and so like
trying to hook you up.
My brother. This is like our first initial meeting of my brother-in-law as well.
Okay.
So he walks up and he has like a very like kind of like, you know, swaggy walk, and then his friend comes walking behind him looking like a Neanderthal, and I'm very good at doing that walk.
I wish I could. I
wish that I could show you right now, but at some point I'll have to take a video of the Neanderthal walk.
I want to see this walk.
Oh my God, we're on. All right,
get up and show me this walk. This is gonna be for the live listeners who are for those of you who are listening on the podcast. We also do this on Instagram. You need to follow us on Instagram at Black-ish-30 Podcast.
Have enough space?
I do think you.
Push the thing back more.
Oh my.
Listen, you want me to walk? How much space do we have?
Yeah, this is as much space as we're gonna get. Yeah.
You move back. So I can have as much.
Somebody
space.
needs to be on mic.
No, you're on mic. Just
all right,
back,
fine.
okay?
All right. For the audio listeners, you should be checking out our Instagram live.
Are you ready?
Yes, I am ready.
Okay.
What is this bullshit that you just showed me?
I don't have enough space. This is not enough space.
That wasn't a walk. That was a hop.
That's how he looked, and it was ridiculous. He looked ridiculous. And I'm grateful they're not friends anymore, so I'd never have to see his stupid walk again.
I want to hear the story about this after this podcast is over.
I will tell you.
Okay.
Stuck on something.
No. I think this is just what it is.
Okay, so if I had to be one of the people who was walking through this biometric thing, I would definitely trip or stumble, and the whole thing would be done.
Yes, you would. You would trip on something, on your own shoe lace or something like that,
I would.
and you would just you'd be SOL.
But we are, and then so the episode, they're going through all the little steps.
Yes.
And then what's his name? The young guy. I think it was
RJ.
RJ. It was either RJ or Stan who rides his bike close enough to...
It's RJ. It was RJ.
RJ, okay, yeah.
RJ is the one who initiates the first part of the plan, which
Yes.
is to copy the encryption that is on the armor truck.
But he has to do it like sneaky, so he like
Yes.
rides up and is like tying his shoe, and the big guy, and like it's like it takes him, I don't know, like a minute to get all the information. They have to wait, and so then we're going through the steps of how they're getting all these things too.
Yes.
But then we also find out that Roger is he's being at this point maybe like trolled, or something's happening where he's getting these mysterious like contact through phone and text message from someone we don't know who.
Yes.
And so like that's like another little underlying mystery. And you don't know.
It's set up to make it seem like it's Leo doing it, but of course it doesn't make sense for Leo. Even though Leo hates Roger so much, it wouldn't make sense for Leo to tip the cap that there's some sort of heist going on.
Yeah.
So of course it wasn't Leo.
So like we are seeing the gang all together. Of course, Bob is being an asshole per usual.
Yes.
RJ is shaping up to be my favorite character.
Why? Because you relate to him?
Why do you think that I would relate to RJ?
Because he's fucking awkward as shit. And you're awkward as shit.
I don't know about ass shit.
Yeah, you all right, so you admit that you're awkward. You admit that you're awkward. You just don't know what degree of awkward. Somebody who doesn't know what degree of awkward they are probably awkward as shit.
Well, moving on.
Yeah.
But I think he's just sweet. He's young. He's fun. He has great positive energy. I like him.
Yeah, for a criminal, he is.
He's not a criminal yet.
They are all criminals. Like they you don't get to be on a heist squad if you've never done part of this heist before.
He's just really good at,
you know what I mean?
What his task is
yeah,
driving.
which is driving. Like, so you think that anybody who's the getaway driver for, or about to be the getaway driver for a heist is just like a NASCAR driver? They've never broken the law before.
Well, okay. You got me there.
Away. He was the driver in the heist from New York, from the jewelry store.
He was.
All those episodes ago.
Yeah, that's true.
So he is a criminal. By that it doesn't, just because you're a criminal doesn't mean that you're morally a bad person. It just means that you broke the law. That's it.
True.
You could be a good criminal. You could be a bad,
like a Robin
cop.
Hood. He's like a Robin Hood.
I don't know if he tells us later on what he's going to do with his share of the money, and he's not giving his money away.
He
so
might
he's
do
no
something
Robin Hood.
altruistic with it.
Yeah, he said he's going to buy a car. Gonna buy like a really, really vintage classic car.
Drive kids to the hospital with it.
Does he seem like the kind of dude who's driving kids?
Yes, he does.
And this is why you're awkward as fuck, because you're a Muppet. That's what you are. You're a fucking Muppet. That is what it is. You got this weird altruistic view on characters that have given you no information to think that that's the case.
He has a cute face.
Okay. So, all right. Well.
Okay, one thing they don't talk about, they don't show us more about in this episode, unless I completely missed it, is Stan goes and picks up bees. Yeah, no,
I definitely wrote down bees. Like there's a blink and you'll miss it subplot where Stan has bees in the back of his car and he says, they're your problem now. I assume that's going to come in at a later date.
Yeah.
Like for the heist itself.
Because they never bring it up.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking, hi Matt.
Hey Matt.
We're talking about Kaleidoscope in case there's spoilers.
Yes.
There's definitely going to be spoilers.
For anybody just joining us, 15 minutes in, we are talking about the third episode of Kaleidoscope, which is Blue. And spoiler alert, we're getting into all of it.
I want to know what the bees are going to do. I was thinking maybe they're going to
They're going to be a distraction for the guards.
Yeah, like throw them into the...
Warning.
Throw them into the office. Because I fucking hate bees, and I would definitely run away screaming. I don't care how military.
Are you allergic to bees?
So I remember...
Or you just hate them?
When I was really little, the doctor told I've never been stung by a bee. But when I was really little, the doctor told my mom that I was allergic to bees.
It's on Netflix, Matt.
Watch it. And so I just always really stayed clear.
Wait, when you were younger, somebody said that your
The
doctor
doctor
said that
told my
you
mom
were,
I was allergic to bees.
How would they know if you're allergic to bees?
I don't know. Maybe because I was a preemie and I didn't have enough whatever antihistamines are in your body. I don't know.
Pre-B.
What
Pre-B.
is pre-bee?
You're
Allergic pre-bees.
like a preemie who's allergic to bees. Pre-B.
You're just a
What? It's a word right there.
ridiculous person.
What else am I supposed to think? Except make word associations.
So the interesting thing in this episode I thought was how jealous Bob is of Stan.
Stan
Because-
and Judy's sort of like dynamic.
Yeah, because of the fact that like he basically stole Judy away from Stan. So and he's like, he's attractive, very, like burly guy, and Stan is like cute, but like in an awkward kind of way.
Wait, you think Bob is attractive?
He's cute?
You think Bob is cute? I mean,
Yeah.
Bob's not ugly, but by any stretch of the imagination. But he's like a hooligan. He's like your classic UK hooligan.
Are hooligans not allowed to be attractive?
Okay, but he's
Bryan
not,
Danielson looks like a hooligan.
Okay, we're not getting into wrestling.
I'm not.
right
I'm
now.
just saying he's a hooligan-esque person. He's cute.
Okay, but I just don't think that we're gonna agree on this fact of whether or not Bob is attractive.
We'll agree to disagree.
Bob is burly as fuck. He's got muscles, and he's a bit of a I was about to, in the UK parlance, call him the C word, but
Oh, what?
C word.
What's the C word?
The C word.
What is that?
Boy, he's a bit of a cunt.
First of all, you sounded Australian.
Well, I've been watching Koala Man. I don't know what to tell you. We should have been reviewing that.
Apparently, we should actually review that next.
All right.
But apparently, they say that an American accent and a British accent is what Australian accent sounds like.
Boy, really?
Okay, don't make that accent.
Noi.
Anymore. So in the scene where Bob gets all jealous, they're all talking about their different dreams, what they want to do with the money.
Mm-hmm.
And Stan said he's going to buy a vineyard in Italy.
Yeah.
He's going to make wine and have a restaurant because we know he's a chef.
Yes.
RJ is going to buy a fancy car owned by someone who played in the Garage. Is that what it was?
I missed that part.
I forget the name of the band.
Yeah.
What's her name? Judy is going to go and buy land in Anaguero, Mexico. It's where the monarch butterflies go to migrate. Yeah, and then live there. And Bob wants to go. What does he say? The Cayman Islands or something like that.
Yeah, he just wants to go to like the Bahamas.
But one thing we do find out is that Bob is a treacherous man,
Yes.
which I assumed from the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
He tells Judy that when they get all the money, that they should take it and leave.
Yes.
The rest of the people who help them. Which to me, I just feel like that is a stupid idea.
Well, yeah. Well, Bob's a stupid man.
He is. He's an idiot.
He's very short-sighted. He's very,
He's a Neanderthal.
short-tempered. Yes, he's a...
He's a troglodyte.
Okay, yes. There you go.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
But I think it's stupid because if you think that this man was able to come up with this whole plan, this very, very intricate plan, and he has all this access to different shady characters, do you not believe that he would also be able to hunt you down regardless
I think that
of how
Bob's
much
gonna
money?
die.
Oh, I hope so. From the very first episode, I have been hoping and praying
You've been rooting for Bob to die.
for Bob to die because my big fear is they're gonna kill RJ. Because, okay, you remember the movie Four Brothers? With Tyrese?
Yes, I remember Four Brothers.
Who's the one that dies first? The nice. Well, he wasn't sweet, but the fun younger
it's Tyrese, Andre 3000,
Andre, Mark Wahlberg,
and
I don't remember the one that dies. He didn't stay long enough for me to remember his name.
It's weird that movie is called Four Brothers and they don't make it out. It ends up just being because I was thinking there would be a sequel. and the sequel would have to be called Three Brothers, because it couldn't be called Five
The
Brothers.
rest of the brothers?
All them brothers. The remainders. Oh my god, it could be called The Remainders.
Okay. Anyway,
Okay.
I really hope they don't kill him because I would be sad.
Yeah, but I do think that Bob is gonna weasel his way. Actually, I scratched that. I don't think Bob's gonna die. I think he's gonna end up getting left behind and getting caught.
But then I think he would rat them out.
He, I don't know. I don't think he's a rat. Like, of all the things that he is, he doesn't strike me as somebody who rats on people.
This is the thing. I feel like he's such a treacherous person that
He will betray people by stealing from thieves. It doesn't seem like he betrays people by ratting them out.
I don't know. But he's just annoying. I hate him. He steals stupid things.
Yes.
He's a kleptomaniac. He was stealing the little wrench he was using to try to open up the fake safe that they have for practice.
Yeah.
It's just like he just makes nonsensical, idiotic behaviors.
Yes.
Or just things that are stupid. And I just feel like he's going to get them caught up, and I want him to get out of here.
Caught up. That's the dances. That's the Usher dances.
That's the Usher dance?
Yeah, from
Are you
Caught
sure?
Up. Yeah, I'm absolutely sure.
Are you sure?
Go back and watch that.
Is that what it looks like?
Matt, go back and watch the music video for Caught Up. Tell me how identical it is that
Yeah.
my dance was
Sure.
exactly like that.
It was a mirror image. So then Leo, we start seeing more of like his kind of inner workings of his mind, because he goes to because through all the things that they have to do in the super elaborate plan, they have to go get fingerprints. They have to like get what is it? Is it biometric?
Biometric?
Yeah, for
Yeah.
his eyes.
Yeah.
And all this stuff. So he's enacting this plan by breaking into Roger's house, and while he's there, he does all his little things.
I had a question about this.
Okay.
All right, so Leo breaks into Roger Salas's house. Mm-hmm. You would think that somebody who is so into security and working at like the most secure vault in the world,
Yeah.
that he would have some form of high tech security at his own damn home.
Oh, this is what
That bothered me. That fucked me up a little bit.
What bothered me is to think that he's not going to have cameras in his home. Because he's 100% going to have cameras.
Yeah.
So it's like...
I had cameras in my apartment, and
I remember when you had those.
Yeah, and I'm not any form of security or anything like that. I'm just a creep.
Those are those are the little kind of blind spots I feel like those are the things that are not paid attention to, that I feel like they should spend a little bit more time.
Yes.
Because there's no way that I'm going to believe that this man was able to break into this man's house without like
Just
deactivating.
a sliding door. That's all it was. He just slid a door open.
And he lives in probably
glass
like
door.
where in New York or Jersey or something. Like there's no way he just has a completely free and clear home where anyone could walk in.
Yeah.
But while he's there, he sees Roger's family. He sees this nice, huge home.
He sees like a bunch of watches.
He does. He
does see a bunch and touches one of the like Rolexes.
Which is then you're getting your fingerprints on things.
Well, no, he has gloves.
He did. He was wearing gloves.
Yeah,
Okay. I didn't see the gloves.
give him at least a modicum of credit that he was
He wore
wearing
gloves.
gloves.
Okay.
Yeah.
But those things, I was just like,
I will also give him credit that he didn't. He was very bold in assuming that there wasn't going to be any security cameras in there because he didn't have like a face mask.
Yeah.
But then the more I thought about it, the more I'm like, if you were to get caught by a neighbor, like you could easily just say like, "Oh, I'm a friend and
I'm watering the plants.
I'm watering the plants. I'm just going into the house." But like, if you have a face mask on,
It looks
you
weird.
definitely look sus.
yeah, I mean, a black man with a face mask on in a neighborhood, he was definitely gonna get shot.
Yeah.
So that couldn't happen. But he definitely gets very jealous when he leaves. He was so sad and angry he couldn't even eat his Philly cheesesteak, which if you can't eat that, you must really be down bad in your feelings.
Yeah, did I tell you that like Philly, not Philly. I went out on a date with a friend of well, it's my friend, but I guess your friend now too. Years ago, back in college. And I ordered a steak sandwich, not steak sandwich, cheesesteak.
Uh-huh.
And I thought it was going to be something completely different.
You did tell me the story. You thought
Yeah.
it was going to be just steak with like cheese on it.
Steak meat, steak bits, chopped up steak, like a thick chopped up steak, a thick steak chopped up essentially.
I mean,
Into like a sandwich.
you're not wrong.
But then it was just like, when I got it, I was like, this is depressing. Like,
It
what the
is
fuck
steak,
is this? But it's
you know,
still good.
it's
A cheesesteak, whether it be a Philly cheesesteak or just a cheesesteak, it's still really good.
No.
It's just not.
Philly
You
cheesesteaks
need
are
to call it
different
something
than
else.
steak and cheese from DC.
Yeah,
I just feel like
I think you need to call
it's
it
not the
something
same.
else. Like you
it's
need
steak.
to
It's a little steak'em.
take the it's a steakum. It should be called Philly cheese steakum.
Okay, so that happens, and then like we know that it moves on. He doesn't eat his Philly cheesesteak. He's really sad and upset.
Yes.
And then it flashes over to Roger, who again gets another. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm looking at myself in the camera. I'm Bane. What do you want from me?
He gets another call from this random private number,
Yes.
and at that point, they I think they asked for $4.3 million.
Yes, they do.
And they sent
to
him
have it in 3 days.
Yes, and they sent him an email with a photo of his real identity, which is Graham Davies. So really everyone in the show is completely an imposter at this point, or at least two of the main characters are imposters.
Yes.
And he's asking him for $4.3 million, and at that point I think is when I realized that it was definitely couldn't have been Leo, because he would, like, if you're gonna have $7 billion, you're not gonna settle for $4.3 million.
Exactly.
So then it's like he has to go on this little hunt to find out who it is.
Goes to like this Radio Shack in Williamsburg.
And
I feel like I've been in that store before. If it's the store no, seriously, it's not a Radio Shack, but it is an audio visual store. And if it's the store that I'm thinking of, that it was actually in Williamsburg, then I've been in that store before.
well, you know,
It looks a lot like that shop that I
look it
used
up.
to get audio cables and stuff from.
well, you have a lot of them, so.
Yes, I do. Do I use any of them?
No.
Or are they in a big ass box?
They're in a big box at the top of your closet.
Yes.
But like we find out it is his ex-employee who he fired in the first episode,
Andrew, yes.
Andrew, because Hannah had stolen some data from the company and she planted a
The yellow USB.
Yes, the yellow USB. She planted it on him, so it looked like he did it. He fires him. So he goes over there. Roger goes over to Andrew's job, and Andrew's basically like, he's like, oh, well, you didn't think I was going to know it was you. And he was like, well, bitch, you got me fired. You lied about me to everybody. Now I can't get a job, and this is what I got to do.
My wife left me
with our son. So hell the fuck yeah, I'm going to blackmail you. Now, this is the part before Roger even leaves, because he warns him and is like, I only give you a warning, so you better act right. And then at that point, Jude is like, bitch, bring me my money. And I feel like he should have said, if something happens to me, or if something happens to my family.
Yeah,
I have-
release the information.
Yeah, like people have the information. Because to me, that is like a fail-safe for you.
You have to have some sort of fail-safe.
Because literally,
if you're gonna blackmail somebody,
You have to have
to have
fail-safes.
copies. This is just like on The Shield, where like Shane
Exactly.
ends up making copies of all the things that him
Exactly.
and the strike team have ever done.
because otherwise, if you it's like, oh, look, here's the only copy I'm gonna have, and then the person just shoots you, and then no one's gonna know what happened.
Exactly.
And then what happens within the next 5 minutes? Roger leaves. Next thing you know, his assistant, who I don't think I've caught his name.
He looks like Matt Berry from the IT Crowd. Have you ever seen the IT Crowd?
The British one.
Yes.
I've seen clips.
Okay, he's in the second series. He's the new owner. Oh, have you ever seen What We Do in the Shadows? He's
Yeah.
the one who talks like this.
Oh, okay.
He
yes.
looks like Matt Berry.
Next thing you know, Matt Berry's lookalike comes over and
That was a
puts
terrible Matt Berry, by the way.
Puts a bag over
He
his
has
head.
the most elegant verbiage of all the vampires. Oh, God, that was terrible.
But you just keep doing it. You want to do it one more time? Rule of threes?
Rule of threes. No, I don't want to do this impression ever again.
Please do not. But yeah, next thing you know, he comes, puts a bag over his head. And like you said when we were watching it, Andrew continues to make stupid mistakes because instead of, he's like flailing his arms around trying to like save himself.
He gets
doesn't
plastic
just
bagged. He gets a plastic bag put over his head.
Put your finger in there and just.
Yeah. Like, that's all you have to do. Now, like, especially if it's, like, around you tight, all you have to do is just pop that finger into the mouth hole. It's hard to do. It's hard to think straight when you're being smothered and choked and suffocated to death.
But
So
I would hope that
give
would
him
kick in if I would just to think of, like, how my survival instincts. How am I going to get myself out of this?
Yeah.
Just put a little small one so you could still breathe, but the other person kind of is going to be like.
Or hold your breath.
You know, there we go.
Hold your breath.
I think every time I see someone getting murdered in a way that's not like clearly like shot or something, I'll be like, well, what way could I have done that so they would think I'm dead?
Because getting shot, there's no like there's no seconds for you to react.
Yeah, and
It's
there's
literally your reaction is reacting to being shot, not reacting to the potential of you dying.
Yes, but like if someone's like drowning you, I always think like, well, I would just stop moving.
Yes, pretend like you're.
Just pretend I'm dead.
Yeah.
If someone tried to strangle me, like I'm just gonna.
But
just
you would
flop.
you would have to like thrash for a little bit and then pretend.
Yeah, just so you can get the.
You can't just legit just like stop moving immediately.
You gotta really get your Angela Bassett on.
Yes.
You know, be a good actor and actress, and make that work. Otherwise, you really have no. Hopefully, the person doesn't come back and double tap you. But you know.
Did I tell you that's a fear of mine, getting cement shoes and being thrown into like a river?
Oh my God, that would be terrible.
Yeah.
That's how.
Or like being chained up and being thrown like having something heavy that pulls you under to the point where like you can't like swim, you're just being dragged down to the bottom because like it's a combination of you drowning and the pressure, and even if you don't die immediately from drowning, you're dying from the pressure of however far down you're going.
And that's just a terrible way to die.
And it is a terrible way to die.
Well,
Dumb ways to die.
goodbye, Andrew. He's gone.
Ways to die.
But sorry. Stop snapping.
Have you ever heard that song?
I might have.
Okay, I'll play it for you after this.
Okay, so Roger kills Andrew.
Yes, Roger gets his assistant, his security guard assistant,
to kill Andrew.
His guy Friday.
So now we never know really what's gonna happen with him later on because whatever Andrew was planning is gone. But fun fact that we find out in here, the triplets, one of them, his name is Mr. Teal, or Teal, and then there's an older white woman and a young Asian guy.
Yes.
They are the triplets.
They're the ones who they own the bearer bonds.
Yes, and they are they're like these criminal masterminds who are very, very dangerous. And they want Roger to move their bonds from his vault to make them, like, to clean them, because apparently the government is looking into their movements.
Yes.
And so at first, Roger's like, I don't know if I can do that. That's a lot of money, blah, 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 blah. But then, later on in the episode, we find out that even though Andrew never got a chance to tell the triplets, which is what he threatened, that they were going, that Roger was, what's his name? Davies?
Yeah.
Graham Davies, that they already know. And so now they're really like, you better move this money or else because you don't want to fuck with us. And then they also, that was it. They just wanted him to move it.
I can't deny it. I'm Graham Davies. You don't want to with me.
And then in the midst of that, they also Roger starts doing more security checks at the office.
Yes.
And they find out that there's a back door, which if you're a coder, not that type of back door, there's a back door
What type of backdoor? If I hear backdoor, I think the back of a house.
Okay, well.
Or the backdoor in
Listeners,
a security.
If you heard the term "someone's going through the back door,"
that's not what they even said. They said that
they said they're going through the back door.
They found a back door.
But still.
All right, if you hear somebody say, "Hey, they found a back door."
Okay, yes, but just back door in general, I feel like.
If your mind goes to the gutter, you're a fucking creep, and you might be wanted for assault.
Either way, the team,
They found a back door.
Leo had put a back door in the security system.
Yeah.
And
some 20 years ago.
No, it was like 7 years ago.
Or
Because
seven,
his daughter's been working at the company for 7 years. In the last episode, we find out that he has told her everything about Roger. So she had planted this 7 years ago.
Yes.
She tries to tell Roger, like, what, do you think someone did something 7 years ago to try to wait for you to wait all this time to get into the company, like trying to make it sound like it wasn't, but that's what it was. And so they change all of the, they change the security system. So now the team is in a conundrum because without
Thank you, Matt.
Without thinking about, without having that back door, they would not be able to bypass the sensors.
Yes.
So they have to think of another way.
Yes.
And so initially, Leo is so distraught because they're thinking they're going to have to scrap the plan, and all these years of building up the revenge plot against Roger is out the window. So what does he decide to do? Kill him in a sauna, like this is a Grecian a Grecian play.
Yes.
But
this is
Julius Caesar?
I was gonna say Caligula.
They were fucking Caligula.
Oh, so nobody died in Caligula?
From fucking? I don't know. I haven't read that book in a really long, or saw that movie in a really long time.
Wait, is it a book or is it a movie?
They have the play, I believe, Caligula, but I saw the movie.
Is it a play too?
Well, I saw the movie, but I was assuming it was also a play as well.
Okay, somebody out there, tell me what Caligula is.
It's definitely a movie.
I know Caligula is a story.
It's a movie in the 70s, and they're having sex everywhere. Okay,
then. All right. Well, if that's the case, I need to look into this to see if anybody dies.
I know you do.
Yeah. Or Sparta. Not Sparta.
Sparta, they used to kill people in the bathhouses in Sparta.
Yeah.
So there was also a lot of sex happening in that as well.
Spartacus, that's what I was thinking of. Spartacus.
Is that the one with the guy? That's the TV series, right?
Yes,
with the
it
one
is.
from what's the shit we just watched? The Last Among Us.
Pedro Pascal?
No, the old doctor in the first episode.
Oh yeah, that guy. Yes,
Spartacus.
he is in Spartacus.
Doesn't he look older comparatively? That show didn't come out that long ago.
He's old. He looks old. Yeah,
it was only a few
He
years.
doesn't look great.
Anyway, so he was going to kill him, but Roger starts talking about the hurricane that's coming, and it gives Leo an idea of how to get through the back door without having the security passes.
He gets Judy to develop like
with some sort of chemical compound that when water touches it, it blows up. Mm-hmm. So instead of having a back door, they're going through the ceiling. So the back door was reopened. It was opened wide for them to go through. Just all of them, just one, boom, bam, just jumping through the hole.
I don't even want to know what your search categories are. I don't. Here's a little known fact about Maurice. Anytime I meet somebody new, whether it be somebody's family, whether it be friends, whether it be work associates, in the back of my mind, I'm always like, what are the top 3 search categories?
Backdoor is not one of them. But it's a funny phrase. Anyway, they decide they're going to use
multiple people coming through.
Basically,
that sounds like a category.
The vault
and you're not saying no. You're not denying it.
The vault is below Wall Street train station. If you know anything about the New York City transit system, it's about 120 plus years old. And so a lot of our train stations are basically ready to be flooded at any juncture. So they planned on blowing a hole.
Grow up!
I can't!
Stop being a child.
Blowing a hole! What am I supposed to do? It writes itself. They're going to blow a hole through the vault using this special little compound, because when it touches water, whoosh, they're going to jump through the vault, and that's how they're going to bypass the sensors. It's going to mess up the climate patch thingy, and then boom, they're in.
Yes.
From there, they're going to grab the bonds, put them in the truck on a little trolley. Hopefully none of it falls off.
Yeah.
And then they were going to make a run for it. And either it works and they get out, or something goes wrong, and they said they're going to escape to, was it Tupper Island? Yeah, Tupper Lake, if something goes wrong.
Now, another wrinkle to this plan is right now, if you recall, in the last or in the first episode, Bob gets his hand shot by a fucking security
he wanted to be a
guard
fucking
because
asshole.
he wanted to be a kleptomaniac. And so his hand is not ready yet. So now him and Stan are working together to work on getting the vault cracked.
And I feel like that definitely is like, it adds the drama because Stan and him are arch nemesis as well.
Yeah.
And I feel like he's either going to...
They don't get along. Stan still loves Judy, but Judy still loves getting fucked by Bob, which she does in this episode. In the warehouse.
In the dirtiest part of the whole space.
In earshot of RJ. RJ is like right outside the door.
Yeah, poor
fapping
RJ.
away.
Can you stop it?
Yeah, he seems like he'd be the type
was
to like
not
lean up towards the
fapping.
door and just like pull out his pud.
Ew, don't
tap.
call it a pud.
Why not?
That sounds so gross. Anyway, that's the plan. They're working. They've worked out the little kinks, and so like that way that they can continue on everything. But my theory is that there's something's gonna happen when Stan and Bob are doing the vault. Mm-hmm. Something is gonna happen where either maybe Bob is going to, after Stan opens the vault, either incapacitate him or try and kill him.
Yeah.
To try and like get him to not be able to although they do need everybody to get the money out, but Bob is dumb, so I feel like he's gonna do something when that happens,
and it's gonna go awry. Yeah.
And then, oh shoot, what else did I have? There was something else I wanted to talk about that I felt like was
that Stan at the doctor's office when Roger Salas?
That was it. Okay.
All right. So when Leo breaks into his house, he pours some stuff into Roger Salas's eye drops that he uses and puts into his eyes, and his eyes get infected.
And on the little stopper or dropper, it says one drop only, and you see. He just one little drop in each, and then he like pours the rest of the drops in the thing. I thought this man was gonna go blind because of like how much he put in there. Because I'm like, obviously, whatever this is, it must cause some sort of irritation.
And I think I understand why he did that. He did that because one of the security checks is supposed to be like his eyes or facial recognition.
Well, yeah, that's why I think they did it.
And he's gonna do that in order to make it so that he turns that part off.
But I think that like putting the droppers in, I think the plan was always to have his eyes get irritated.
Yes.
So that they would have to call in the doctor.
Yes.
And Stan would come, check his eyes, get the scan.
Yes.
But I just felt like he was just being a petty asshole and decided I'm going to put all the droppers in because I want this man's eyes to be as fucked up as possible.
Two things could be true at the same time.
Yeah. Like I feel like he's like, I just want to see how much pain I can put this man through because I absolutely hate him.
Yeah.
And so Stan, which he had some sort of interesting, was it a British or German accent when he was the doctor?
Mm-hmm. He had a European accent.
But I felt like they should have like kind of dressed him up a little bit more so that he would be even more unrecognizable, because I feel like something's gonna happen where Roger's gonna notice him.
I don't know, maybe. But then his eyes are gonna be fucked up, so maybe he's not gonna.
No, but his eyes are. I think his eyes are fine because they gave him medicine.
Okay, well, fine, fair enough.
So I don't know. But then, okay, now.
Oh, we find out that Hannah and the girl are sisters.
Yes, her name is
Amanda?
Liz.
Liz, yeah.
Liz is the one who I had thought initially I thought they were girlfriends, but then I was like, no, I'm not seeing a romantic vibe here. I think they're probably best friends, but in actuality, it's her little sister.
Yes.
Which makes sense of why she's living in the house with her and why Hannah was trying so hard to get her a job.
Oh, and you were wrong because Roger's wife Kimiko is a no, not Kimiko.
Wow. Sakura?
Yes.
Who the fuck is
alive.
Kimiko?
I don't know. Why are you saying that like you're a jilted lover who just got cheated on? Who the fuck is Kimiko? Who the hell do you know named Kimiko? You need to tell me.
Anyway.
Who you thinking about named Kimiko up in here? Kimiko, more like Kamiho. Are
you done? Do you have one more left?
No, I did all three.
Okay. So,
keep going. Catch up.
Sakura is alive because I did think she was dead because of the way he was talking about her. They have a son who's now college age, but has decided he's going to leave college for a semester because he's not learning anything. Apparently, that's a thing that college students are just doing.
No comment from me.
His father asks him, he brushes him off in a very, I'm wealthy and what are you going to tell me? They're not teaching me anything anyway, and you're taking care of me. So, we move past that.
No comment.
We'll probably learn more about his son and his wife in the next episode.
I imagine that there's gonna be a Roger backstory coming up very soon.
Yeah, because we were getting tidbits.
Yeah,
we're getting tidbits of.
We understand that Leo feels that Roger has everything and he has nothing.
Yes.
So we gotta get that flashback to whatever the fuck is going on as soon as possible, because like them dangling this thread around me is starting to wear a little.
It's getting old.
It's getting a little old to me.
They give RJ a gun, which I do not think was a good idea. I think he's gonna accidentally shoot himself.
Oh, he's definitely gonna shoot.
And
himself.
I feel like this is oh my god, what is it? What is the thing? The thing you always talk about when you
Chekhov's gun.
Chekhov's gun.
Yeah, it's Chekhov's gun. You don't pull a gun. All right, Chekhov's gun says that if you introduce a gun in the first act, it has to go off by the end of the play or movie or story.
Okay, but this technically isn't the first act. We did see all those guns.
You've introduced a gun into this story.
They introduced those guns on the first episode.
This is 5 days. Okay. Well,
we introduced the guns on the first episode because when she brought Leo to her house, she was like, "Here are all the guns."
Yeah.
So we do that. That did happen.
That's not Chekhov's gun. That's more just settings.
Oh, okay.
That's just like a setting.
Well, I just hope this gun doesn't get RJ killed because I know he looks like he wants to be in Grand Theft Auto.
I think he's gonna shoot himself.
I think he's gonna accidentally shoot himself in the foot. Better than the butt though, because that would really be.
How do you act? Oh, well, I guess if the gun is in your back.
He put it in his back pocket. I would never put a gun in my back pocket. I wouldn't put a gun in a pocket at all. It needs to be in a holster, because I know I'm gonna accidentally shoot myself.
Okay.
There's also a mole. Is there a mole in the group? Because the FBI said they were coming. They found out they were going to have a stakeout.
There's going to be movement on the 505. I think that I don't know if there's necessarily a mole in the group. I do. Ooh, what if the mole is Judy? That's why she's with Bob. Oh, she is the mole. Judy is the mole. You can't tell me nothing.
I was thinking it was Bob.
Bob is the mole?
Yeah.
I think Bob's too stupid to be the mole.
Oh, you're right. Judy is really good at maths. Why do British people, why did not like the United Kingdom and Australia say maths?
Maths?
Yeah.
I like saying maths.
I just never understood why it was maths
plural.
instead of math.
It's plural. It's the pluralization of math.
But math...
they're talking about multiple maths.
But I feel like math in itself is already plural. It's math. It's all going to be plural. There's
No,
numbers.
because when we talk about it as if it's a singular subject. Whereas in the UK, they're talking about the various breakdowns of all the different types of math.
When I think about math,
calculus.
I think about all those things. I mean, we called it math, but in math, we had geometry, we had calculus, we had all those other stupid things that I was terrible at.
Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally.
That PEMDAS was
PEMDAS?
for, please excuse me.
Yeah, did I say it right?
You did.
Yeah, I did.
PEMDAS was for, was it quadratic equation?
Yeah, the quadratic equation.
So it's math.
It's math.
I think like math is a overarching umbrella for all the other things.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like
in America, we see it as one subject, whereas over in UK, they see it broken down into the various subjects that make up
the math.
the maths.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we just say
like
science.
For them, calculus is math. The geometry is math. The PEMDAS is math. So all of those collectively, if you're talking about them, would be maths.
But they don't say sciences.
Yeah, I think they say
I'm going to science. No, I'm going to science. I'm not going to sciences.
You're talking about the sciences.
No. But say I'm
Please
talking.
wipe your nose.
Oh, well, give me a nose tissue. You took my nose tissue that I had.
Okay, anyhow. So, I would rate this episode a 8.5 out of 10. I think it was informative.
You're a terrible person.
Makes less logic. Yeah.
It's true. They do. About everything. We were...
Oh, my God.
Oh, God! Ah!
You're making it worse.
Well, help me! You're just staring there and watching.
What am I supposed to do?
I don't know. Assist. There was a spill of some sort. It was cream soda. All right. Look, it wasn't that bad.
Terrible.
It wasn't that bad.
I'm going to end this episode on this story. When I was in college, I used to live in the top floor of a house where anytime it would be unlocked, and it was like the party room. I had a couch in there, I had a bed in there, so anytime I was away, and I would come back, people would be in my room. Thank you. Shout out to Justin Jones and the Sashas and the Nasashas and the Margarets of the world. In a drawer, I kept a towel. It was a private towel. And
private towel.
Yes, it was a private towel. And
Was it hard?
And one day, somebody spilled in that room, and they were looking for something to clean it up with, and the drawer was open. They saw the towel, and they used it to clean up the mess. And I saw that,
You
and I
came
was just
in?
like, yes, I did. And I saw that they did that, and I was just like, why did you use this? This is not meant for that. This is meant for something completely different. And that's why it's in a drawer far away from public eyes. That is not what this towel is. I will say that.
God.
This towel isn't even for that at all. This is like a, what is this?
It's a squad goals towel. Oh, it's from Essence Fest.
Oh, yeah, this is a nice towel. This is actually a memory towel.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's fine. It's okay. It's
Crisis was
it's out here. So how much of a memory is it?
Okay, so I give this episode. We're doing 5. We're doing. Is it 1 out of 10?
You can do 1 out of 5. I'm gonna do 1 out of 10.
Okay, I'll do 1 out of 10
because there's more wiggle room.
Okay, I will give this 8 out of 10.
I was being coy. That's why if you finally understand what I was saying just now,
Where's the if you know you know button?
I don't have that drop.
If you
right
know
now.
you know.
If you know you know. If you know you know.
Oh my God, this is just threw me off. Anyway,
How would you rate this episode?
I'm gonna give it 8 out of 10 snurts.
Okay.
I feel like there are some holes I just don't that weren't plugged up.
Yeah. You and the see, this is a dirty episode. This is what happens when we record late. Holy shit, it is late. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 7.5. Because the fact that the security guy doesn't have security in his own home really fucked me up. And I'm starting to get a little tired of like, Roger Salas is the bad guy, but they can't tell me why he's the bad guy. What did he do? Why do you hate him, Leo? I just want to know about now. But it looks like one of these episodes is going to take place like 3 weeks before. The next episode takes place 3 weeks before the heist, and maybe one of the episodes take place like 20 years before the heist.
I think one of them does take it like a long time prior. But okay, this is one thing I forgot to ask.
Yeah.
How easy is it to just create new identities for people? Because, hi Laurel. I want to know how easy it is to create, because at this point we know 2 people who Ava. Well, at least we know Ava got Leo a new identity. Mm-hmm. Perhaps I feel like she knows Roger. She probably got him one as well.
We try to think of ourselves as a little bit classy, even though we're just a bunch of dirty ass fucking nerds.
We're dirty snurds.
We're dirty snurds. We're dirty snurds, but we try to be like classy. Look at us. We got a little like chalice in our glass and everything like that. We could have leaned into the dirty joke, but instead we walked around it, much like a towel on the floor that was used to clean up different things.
But anyway, Leo tells the team if something goes wrong that Ava's going to get them new identities.
Yes.
And I want to know how easy that is to happen, because I would like to be reincarnated into someone else.
That's not reincarnation. That's just getting a new identity.
They're being born again.
No, they're not.
Into new people.
They're getting new identities.
They're getting whole new lives. They're getting whole new birthdays.
They're the same molecules.
They're being born
in the body,
again. They're being born again. I don't care.
You read one fucking Harry Potter book about a phoenix, and all of a sudden,
they're coming through the ashes.
Born again.
They are being born again.
A bird through the dirt.
They sure are.
Ash and soot. Like,
I want to know how easy for that is to happen, because I want
to. Would you want to? No. The answer is no before you even say it. But would you want a new identity? Like, you give up your identity now, and you have to get a new identity.
Okay, this is the.
Mind you, we only have a couple more minutes.
I would say yes.
We have to get the fuck off of here.
I'm going to say yes, only if that identity could be linked to a super mega wealthy family that's never heard of my side, but somehow like finds out about me and then wants to give me money.
Like a Princess Diaries situation?
Basically. Like I'm their long lost, like an Anastasia situation. Remember Anastasia?
Yes, I do remember Anastasia.
If I want to be born again, mm-hmm. and then the family who thinks their relative died, however, or never had any kids, they would think it was me. That they would come give me money. I'd come live in their mansions, mm-hmm. and then there we go.
Well, I mean, you could just do that. You just find an old person with
dementia. I want it
say
to
that,
be.
Hey, I'm your son.
I want this to be looking.
You dated my mom back in 1967. You don't remember? Oh well, no. Like it definitely happened, and then you get them to sign a reverse mortgage.
What? You want me to Bank of America these people?
Yeah. I'm just saying, you can definitely create a whole different identity.
I want to find. I feel like every time I watch these heist movies and shows, people just make it feel real easy to like just completely game the whole system. Mm-hmm. And I don't think that's that easy.
Even this episode shows that nothing in a heist is fucking easy.
Yeah.
If it was, we'd all be like pulling all the scams in the world.
Sure would.
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah, I would. I would definitely.
All right. Oh, it's 11:11. Make a wish.
Yes, now everybody knows when we're recording this.
What? First of all, we're on a live. How are they not going to know when we're recording this?
For the audio listeners, too.
Whatever. They know it's late sometimes.
Can we wrap up, please?
Yes. Oh, we have 1 minute left. All right. Go to sleep.
So for all of y'all who are out there, thank y'all for joining us for this episode of Watch Out Wednesday's Black and Sturdy podcast. As always, we will be back next Wednesday with another installment of Kaleidoscope. It looks like the next episode is going to be Orange 3 weeks before the heist.
Orange.
Yes. And
What rhymes with orange?
door hinge.
That does not rhyme with orange.
Orange does. Door hinge rhymes with
No,
orange.
it does not.
Door hinge. Yes, it does.
It does not rhyme with orange.
How does it not rhyme with orange? Oh, because nothing rhymes with orange. Door hinge.
No.
Yes, it does.
First of all, why is it door hinge and not just hinge?
It's door hinge.
No, but why couldn't you say hinge? Is hinge not a word?
Hinge is a word.
So
Door is a word. There's two words that can rhyme
door
with the word.
hinge, that makes less sense than just if it was just hinge.
It's a 2-syllable
and
word.
even it's
You're telling me 2 single
it's
words.
orange.
We don't have time for this bullshit.
All right. See you later.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the show. If you'd like to contact the podcast, you can reach us via email at blackandsnerdypodcast@gmail.com. You can also find us on Instagram and TikTok at Black and Snurdy Podcast, as well as on Twitter at Black and Snurdy. You can find me, Maurice, on all social media under the handle Licorish is Legit. That's LICORISH is legit.
And you can find me on Instagram. It's that's OD, THATSOD.E. And on Twitter, THATSOD_E. And don't forget to like, rate, and subscribe to us. Tune in next time to the Black and Sturdy Podcast, where nerds of a feather flock together.
Remember?
Bye.
Boy.
Not yet. Not yet.
No, this is keeping it. We're keeping this in. Don't forget to take your meds and your subs and drink water. Bye.
Bye.
I actually want to keep that.